Okay, so I'll talk about CSS3 transitions and transform, both of them together. So what I understand about transition is, so transition works like the animation without any library. So something like this. This red box will change the form, or and it's using here transition, and you can specify the delays and how it acts. Like this says div hover, so when you hover on this box, it'll change the shape. There are some other examples. So this one is using transform together. So transform is used to, so there are many functions here. It says translate, rotate, scale, and matrix. So for example, translate, or not this one. Go down, translate, let you move in this case it's using div, so it let you move the div to a different position.
I have a question for you. Do you happen to know how familiar are you with positioning in CSS? Are you kind of familiar or not very?
Not very.
Then never mind. The reason why I was asking is because, so there's a couple different types of positioning. I'm sure you know about. You have relative and absolute, which are the big ones, really.
Yeah.
Relative keeps the element in the same place inside the DOM, meaning that every element works around it as if it's still there.
Okay.
And then it moves. And so if you had a square and you did relative position to move it, the square would move, but the space where the square was wouldn't, because it's as if it's still there. So if there was something right next to it, it wouldn't slide over as if it disappeared because it's still sitting there technically.
Yeah, interesting.
However, if you use absolute positioning, it takes it out of that. And I just was interested in knowing if you happen to know if transform is more like absolute positioning or if it's more like relative positioning where it keeps it.
By using this translate, yeah.
I would imagine that's probably more like relative positioning where it would keep the space where it used to be and move it. And if that's the case, then I'd wonder why when you want to use transform over over anything else. Is this inside a canvas, or are you? No, yeah. So I guess curious to see why you want to use transform over absolute or over positioning.
Sorry, I don't.
Yeah, sorry. I just wanted to bring that up, maybe for Austin, even if he was curious as well. Something that it's also good to have on the video.
If we all don't know, then we can ask about Bonnie.
Yeah, we should look it up.
Yeah, that's one thing I can look up. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there are other things that you rotate. If you're just using transform, it just gives you the rotated I don't know, version of the div. So by using, so here, transform transition, where is it?
Right there.
Yeah, here, transform rotate 180 degree. So this is a combination of transform and transition. That's how you make this rotate in the animation way. And it's also changing the size. Where is it happening? Oh, so 100 pixel to 200 on hover. So that's how you can change the size. And I just wrote some of the code here by myself. So this is the example of the rotate in the X axis. I don't know. X, Y, Z.
Well, okay, so the first one is rotating around the x-axis.
Yes.
Forward towards you, and then the second one, yeah, rotating around the Y, and then the other one got rotating around the Z. So.
Thank you. Okay. And this next one. Oh. It stopped working.
You're in
guess-
Firefox right now, so it's something that might only work in Chrome. Because I think I saw that you used the WebKit.
That's right.
So press my super key, the Windows button, and Chrome's over there on the right.
Oh,
There you go.
here.
So go over to Chrome and do the same thing, because maybe that's something to know for Austin, so I'll say this since he's not here. There are these things called browser prefixes, and lots of things that are kind of new in browsers that aren't fully implemented across every browser in a standard method.
Yeah, I look at the many example codes, and they all had the
mods, transform, WebKit, transform.
or all for Opera, I think.
I think Opera uses WebKit, so I think it still uses that. I could be wrong on that though. And then sometimes Internet Explorer has its own completely different one, but it doesn't follow the same naming convention usually.
TF?
Oh yeah, I saw the letters, but I didn't realize they were.
Okay, it's working here.
Yeah.
It's cool. Yeah, and so in this class we can use any browser.
Well, we're on mobile. This class is a mobile application.
So how does it mobile browser, right? We use.
Well, the rule of thumb with this is that Safari Safari's built on WebKit. So is Chrome. Chrome is also WebKit. Mozilla uses a different rendering engine than either one of them, because like I said, Chrome and Safari use basically the same thing.
What devices are we using for the mobile?
Well, you need to support probably iOS and Android, but luckily that's the same rendering engine. It's WebKit.
Okay.
So technically, you only need to add WebKit. However, the rule of thumb is add every single one in there, whether you need it or not, because all it does is add one extra line to your code, but it doesn't make anything run any different. It doesn't make things slower. So always just add all the ones that you can. I personally leave out Internet Explorer because who cares? I'm sorry. I don't care at all.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. So this one's for different how do you say, speed? It's not the speed. It gets to the destination at the same time.
Acceleration, maybe? Acceleration or something?
So yeah, this is liner, is in, is out, is in, out, is making this difference.
Okay, so basically what it's doing is it's creating a, we were talking about Beziers a couple of weeks ago, and so each one of these has a built-in Bezier curve to adjust the acceleration of how fast it starts and how slow it ends and how.
So is in is starting slow, but it just speeds up.
Yeah.
Yeah, is out is other way, and is in out. I don't know. It's just.
There are different curves to make things look a little bit more realistic.
So.
Because it's really robotic and gross looking when you just do something in a linear fashion. It just shoots across. It doesn't look very aesthetically nice, but if something is like rubber banding, and then it looks kind of nice. Okay,
so this one is example of translate. So when it hovers, it just moves it.
Okay, actually that answers my question now about the positioning thing. It looks like it's relative positioning.
Okay, that's good.
Just thought I'd say something about it, because the fact that your mouse is still sitting over that. It's telling me that it's relative positioning.
If I move it,
for example, put your mouse over the square now where the square is, and it should go back.
It's still.
Okay, so maybe that's the difference between standard positioning and transform. Translate, transform. Is that maybe it not necessarily creates a copy, but it's in effect kind of like a copy where you could. Does that make sense? It's still technically there, but it's also over here. Okay, yeah. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but I'm just talking out loud, by the way.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, my problem is it's acting a little weird here.
Well, because you're right on the edge where the square and where the other element is and the new one is moving to. If that makes sense. So it's like that's why I'm saying I think it's creating like a copy sort of thing. where it's still there in the background.
Oh,
and you
okay.
can't see it, which is why where the text is,
Yeah.
if you keep your mouse there, it'll stay over here.
Yeah, I can just move this here.
But if you put it wherever the edge is, it's in between. It's like saying, am I on top of this one or am I top of this one? And so it's getting confused
Okay,
and
that's
dropping
why.
it.
So I think this is doing what it's supposed to do, but it's just like
Yeah, I think that's
this
just
cursor.
I think that's a quirk that you don't get around.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, you're going to be doing this on mobile, so you don't have a mouse, and so you're probably
That's true.
You won't see that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And we don't use hover then?
No, you really can't.
Yeah, we can, huh? Okay. So this is from some other website.
However, there are. I just wanted to say this. There are some other things you can do instead of hover and that type of thing. There's these new ones like press and hold, and there's these other things for mobile, and so you can do like rotate things where you put two fingers on, and you can trigger it to do certain things with 2 fingers. So there's different things instead of on hover that you can use in mobile.
Cool.
So I just wanted
That's
to bring
cool.
that up.
Yeah, we saw this in class, but
Yeah.
it's the same thing. It's other. I had the same thing on the top. This looks a little better. So.
Well, it's a little slower, so you can kind of see what each one's
That's
doing a
true.
little bit more. I think.
Yep.
But,
And that's all I have. I just need to.
the edges are also rounding out. I didn't realize.
Huh?
The edges of the corners of the square.
It's.
Turning. Yeah, I didn't.
Yep. It'll be a circle. Start with the square and it's
What transform function is changing it into a different shape?
Let's see. So this one I didn't write it by myself.
Yeah,
so,
it's an online example.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So we need to find it together.
Okay.
Let's see. It's.
Hold on for a second. Scroll kind of slowly down from the top.
Padding the top.
Stop right there. Let me scan through. I think this is from higher up on your page, right? Those ones are the ones you wrote, or are they the ones from the?
Oh, I have. So these ones are the one I wrote.
Oh, and then the other ones are the ones at the bottom are the ones you got from online?
Yes. So these are all codes that it needs.
Hold on, timings, then on test box. I don't know, because what it looked like it was doing is it was using a radius.
Yeah.
It was using the radius property inside CSS to round the corners out, but if you hit it really hard, it rounds it to the point where it becomes a circle.
Oh, how about this cubic?
That's just doing the speed. So that's what's allowing you to do the ease-ins and outs and stuff. So you're making different easier curves there.
Well, I'll try to find.
Right there, keep going down. Border radius. That's the one.
It's
at the top of that timings demo. See, right at the very bottom, these last 3. I'm sorry, this first 3. Border radius. So it is doing what I thought it was. I just didn't.
Oh, radius. Here, okay.
Yeah, so basically it's just hitting the radius. Like I said, radius, if you have a square div, it'll round the corners out of the border. And if you hit it really, really hard and keep hitting it, it becomes a circle eventually.
Oh, I see. Cool. I'll play around with this code and put on a box as my code. So.
Okay.
Yep. That's all I have for this. Any question? Any more question?
Yeah. Did you come up with it? Was there any situations when you were making stuff that was like that either didn't work when you first tried it, something that you learned and you were kind of surprised by? Or something that just was different than you expected?
So I pretty much read the example on website and tried to copy it with my HTML tags.
Yes.
So I have some tags here, like these ones. So this is the first example. And only problem I had is how to control these tags. So I have these 3 tags that's shown here. So 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, these first divs, yeah.
Right? So to control these 3 at the same time, I need to put them all in one div, which has different ID.
Okay, yeah, because so you're triggering the parent on the parent div,
Yep.
and then yeah, you're acting.
So it's been a while since I did this stuff, last time. So
No,
I just need to refresh. I need to refresh my memory here.
That's fine.
So that's pretty much only thing I had problem with. And other than that, I could just try to copy the example and it worked. So
okay.
So it shouldn't be that hard.
No, I think a good idea of every time we teach now is maybe we should give each other in these meetings situations where you can break something. Because obviously we do need to make some bad code that breaks. And I think especially if I had a couple situations with Brother Barney where there were certain things I didn't know how to break, and he was giving me some examples. So maybe we can help kind of share amongst ourselves. Hey, when I was learning how to do this, I did this thing wrong, or I set this thing up and it made it do this weird thing, or it broke it. And then so maybe we can then play with the errors as well.
Okay. Yeah.
Cool,
and we need to create a bad code anyways. So it's good to keep track of those.
So yeah,
bad
ones.
Like
having to be able to do that.
Yeah. Cool. Good idea. Yep.
Awesome. You have any questions?
No.
If you just start talking with me.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Thank you.
Yep. Now stopping.